The courtroom is silent, every eye fixed on the family at the center of it all. Secrets long buried are finally surfacing. And tonight, one shocking confession could change everything. Who will come out unscathed? And who will be left shattered? You won't believe what happens next. The doors to the courthouse creak open, and the family files in. Kody Brown walks first. His face a mask of composure, but his hands betray a subtle tremor. Behind him, the wives follow, each carrying their own mixture of dread and determination. The air is thick with anticipation, the scent of polished wood and faint perfume hanging like a silent warning. The courtroom lights cast long shadows, emphasizing the distance between the family members, and the tension is palpable. The judge calls the session to order, and the room immediately tightens with expectation. Christine shifts uncomfortably in her seat, her eyes darting toward Kody, searching for any hint of allegiance or betrayal. Robyn adjusts her papers calmly, but her knuckles whiten around the edges. Janelle leans back slightly, trying to appear relaxed, while Meri's gaze is fixed downward, as if summoning courage from somewhere deep within. The prosecutor steps forward, voice low but caring. We are here to resolve not only disputes of property and custody, but also matters that strike at the very heart of trust within this family. Each witness will speak, and every statement will matter. Kody's attorney rises to defend him, but before a single word can be uttered, Christine interrupts, her voice breaking the silence. We've lived in shadows for too long. It's time the truth comes out. No more lies. The room freezes. Everyone can feel the weight of those words, as though a hidden storm has been unleashed. Will this revelation finally bring justice, or tear the family apart forever? The first witness is called, a family friend who has observed years of tension, whispered secrets, and unspoken betrayals. Her testimony starts calm, almost mundane, describing holiday dinners and shared responsibilities. But slowly, she shifts into a story about hidden financial disputes, secret conversations late at night, and quiet moments of resentment that had gone unnoticed. Robyn clenches her jaw. Christine's fingers drum nervously on the wooden desk. The room holds its collective breath. What seemed like a simple dispute is unraveling into a tangled web of secrets that no one is prepared for. The defense attorney jumps in, questioning the witness aggressively, trying to unravel her credibility. Are you sure of what you saw? He asks. But the witness remains unwavering, recounting each detail with precision. The camera pans across the courtroom. Kody's face tightens. Robyn bites her lip, and Christine finally exhales a shaky breath of relief. Suddenly, the session pauses as a private note is handed to the judge. He reads it carefully, his eyes narrowing, whispers ripple through the room. The note hints at a revelation that could shift the entire trial in an instant. And just like that, the first domino begins to fall. ChatGPT said, "Perfect. Let's dive into session 2. This is where the drama intensifies, emotions run high, and suspense peaks. I'll focus on tension, conflict, and emotional storytelling, with scene tone shifts to keep viewers glued, and I'll include retention boosters along the way." The courtroom lights dim slightly as the judge motions for the next witness. A hush falls over the room. All eyes turn to Meri, who rises slowly from her seat. She's been quiet until now, her presence understated, almost invisible. But the weight of what she is about to reveal is enormous. Her voice trembles as she begins. I never wanted this to come out, Meri admits, glancing at Kody. But the truth has a way of finding daylight, no matter how much we try to hide it. Her hands fidget with a folded piece of paper, the words on it scrawled in her own handwriting. Every eye in the courtroom seems to lock onto her. The judge leans forward. "Please proceed," he says, his tone neutral but commanding. Meri swallows hard. There were arrangements, decisions made without me, and promises broken. One in particular. Her voice breaks and she pauses, taking a deep breath. One promise that affected not just me, but everyone in this room. The audience feels the tension spike. Every heartbeat seems amplified in the silent courtroom. The camera pans to Kody, whose expression is a mixture of guilt and disbelief. Christine leans forward slightly, her eyes narrowing a barely concealed smirk tugging at her lips. Robyn's hands gripped the edge of the bench, her calm demeanor cracking just enough to reveal the anxiety beneath. Janelle exhales slowly, sensing that a storm is about to hit. Meri's revelation begins to unfold, each sentence dripping with betrayal. She speaks of secret financial decisions, whispered conversations at odd hours, and the quiet sidelining of her voice in family matters. I trusted him. I trusted all of you. And I was silenced. Her words echo in the chamber, reverberating off the walls and into the hearts of everyone present. The prosecutor leans in, sensing the moment to press harder. Are you saying these decisions directly affected the family's trust and unity? Yes, Meri responds, her eyes shining with tears she refuses to wipe away. They changed everything. Retention booster? Can you feel the tension rising? Just wait. The next revelation will leave everyone in shock. The defense attorney pounces, trying to contain the damage. Meri, are you sure you're recalling events correctly? Memories can be tricky. Meri's gaze snaps toward him, sharp and unwavering. I remember everything, every conversation, every lie, and it's time the truth is heard. The courtroom grows tense. Robyn shifts in her seat, the controlled calm she's maintained starting to fracture. Christine whispers something to her lawyer, a flicker of anticipation in her eyes. The judge, sensing the volatility, calls for a short recess. The air outside the courtroom is electric. Murmurs of disbelief ripple through the gathered audience. During the break, private conversations flare into whispers. I can't believe she said that, someone mutters. Kody stands alone, staring blankly, the weight of the accusations pressing down on him. This could destroy everything, he thinks. His mind racing, as the session resumes, another witness is called. A former family friend who had been present for many of the private conversations Meri described. His testimony adds layers of detail, corroborating Meri's account and revealing previously unknown conflicts. Each story, each revelation tightens the invisible noose of tension around Kody and the rest of the family. Christine leans forward, voice low but biting. It's about time someone spoke the truth. Too many years of pretending everything was fine. Her eyes lock on Kody, and for a moment, the air itself seems to crackle. Retention, booster. Every secret revealed is another thread pulling at the family's fragile bond. Will they survive the unraveling? The judge signals a pause, but the audience can sense the storm is far from over. Behind the scenes, alliances shift imperceptibly. Who is truly loyal and who is waiting for the perfect moment to strike? Every glance, every hesitated word is a potential betrayal. The session closes with a final, startling revelation from Meri. And there's one more thing, she whispers, almost to herself, but loud enough for the court reporter to catch. Something none of you knew. Until now. Gasps echo through the courtroom. Kody's jaw tightens. Robyn leans forward instinctively. Christine's eyes widen. The judge bangs his gavel, trying to regain control. But the damage is done. The cliffhanger hangs heavy in the air. The next session promises secrets that will shock and change everything. The courtroom falls into a tense silence as the doors swing open once more. Kody returns to the bench, his face pale, sweat glistening at his temple. He's no longer the calm patriarch. The cracks in his composure are now visible, every movement betraying the storm raging inside him. The judge calls for the next witness, and a hush descends. The witness steps forward, a distant relative who had been quietly observing the family dynamics for years. Her eyes flicker between Kody and the wives, measuring, weighing, calculating. I never thought I'd have to speak in public, she begins softly. But there are truths that cannot remain hidden any longer. Her testimony begins cautiously, recounting seemingly small incidents, disagreements over property, quiet tensions at family gatherings. But soon, the details deepen, revealing hidden alliances, secret conversations, and subtle manipulations that had gone unnoticed. Every word she utters sends a ripple of tension through the courtroom. Robyn sits rigid, hands clasped tightly. Christine leans back, smirking slightly. As though confirming suspicions she had long harbored, Janelle's eyes glisten, emotions teetering on the edge. And Meri, she's finally found her voice, sitting upright with a fierce determination that commands attention. Retention. Booster. Every word spoken in this courtroom cuts deeper than any knife. And the next revelation will leave you stunned. The witness's voice falters for a moment. And then there was the night of the confrontation. The night that changed everything. The courtroom collectively leans in. Kody's hands tighten around the bench. His mind races to anticipate the coming storm. She recounts a heated argument between Kody and one of the wives, describing whispered threats, emotional manipulation, and the subtle erosion of trust. "I didn't want to believe it," she says, voice trembling, "but I saw the fear, the heartbreak, and I realized how much was really at stake." The prosecution seizes the moment. And how did this affect the family's unity? The witness swallows hard. It shattered it. Trust was gone. And from that night on, nothing was the same. The courtroom atmosphere is electric. Kody stands, trying to speak, but words fail him. Christine rises, voice cutting through the tension. "It's been a long time coming, Kody. Maybe now you'll understand what it's like to be on the other side." Robyn interjects softly but firmly. "We all loved. We all tried. But some things can't be undone." Her calmness contrasts the tension, but her eyes reveal the pain she carries. Retention booster? The past has a way of catching up. And tonight, no secret is safe. Suddenly, the judge calls for a private sidebar. Whispers fill the room as attorneys and witnesses huddle. Everyone senses a pivotal revelation is imminent. After several minutes, the courtroom doors reopen, and the witness drops a bombshell. A letter, long hidden, which documents secret decisions that have affected the family's financial and personal lives for years. Gasps echo across the courtroom. Kody's face pales further. Christine's eyes sparkle with vindication. Robyn glances at the letter, tension etched across her features. The judge reads the letter aloud, and each word slices through the room like a scalpel, exposing betrayals, broken promises, and long-concealed alliances. The wives exchange looks, some of shock, others of vindication. Janelle covers her mouth, tears threatening to fall. Meri's eyes burn with a mixture of relief and grief. And Kody? He seems to shrink under the weight of the truth. The session nears its climax when an unexpected figure enters the courtroom. A former confidant of Kody's, someone whose testimony has the power to rewrite everything we think we know. His presence alone sends a shiver through everyone. The judge motions for him to speak, and the room leans forward collectively. He begins softly, almost casually, recounting events that cast doubt on everything Kody has said. The tension spikes with every word. Accusations, half-truths, and shocking insights are revealed. The wives react instantly. Robyn's jaw tightens, Christine's eyes narrow dangerously, Janelle sobs quietly, and Meri's hands shake as she grips the bench. Retention booster? Everything you thought you knew is about to be challenged, and the next revelation will change the game completely. As the session ends, the judge bangs his gavel, but the impact of the testimony lingers. Whispers, stunned gasps, and the weight of unspoken tension fill the air. Every alliance is now in question. Every motive is suspect. And one question hangs over the courtroom like a storm cloud. Who can truly be trusted? The camera pans across the room one last time. Faces etched with fear, anger, and disbelief. And just as the session closes, a single envelope slides across the bench to the judge, marked with a name that could turn everything upside down. Cliffhanger. The next session promises secrets more explosive than anything revealed so far. One revelation could fracture the family irreparably, and no one will leave unscathed. The courtroom doors swing open, and the family files in. Tension thick in the air. The first glances exchanged are sharp, almost accusatory. Each member of the family carrying their own storm of emotions. Kody sits stiffly, jaw tight, eyes darting toward each wife. He's visibly aware that the walls are closing in. Every secret, every past misstep now threatens to unravel his carefully maintained image. The judge calls the session to order, and all eyes focus on the witness stand. Today, it's Janelle who steps forward. Her normally soft demeanor is replaced with a fierce determination, her eyes glinting with emotion. She takes a deep breath, her hands clutching the edge of the podium. "I've stayed quiet for too long," she begins, her voice trembling, yet resolute. "I wanted to believe everything was fine, but it's not. Not for me. Not for any of us." Her words hit the room like a thunderclap. The courtroom leans in, every ear straining. Christine shifts slightly, a smirk playing across her lips, sensing the tension building. Robyn tightens her grip on her papers, her face a mask of composure, but her eyes revealing the worry beneath Kody's knuckles whiten, the mask of calm slipping with every word Janelle utters. Retention booster? Every confession pulls the family further into chaos. And the truth is more devastating than anyone could imagine. Janelle recounts years of quiet resentments, the silent weight of decisions made without her input, and moments where she felt isolated, unheard, and betrayed. She describes secret conversations between Kody and the other wives, promises broken, and loyalties tested. And then came the night everything changed, Janelle says, voice breaking slightly. A confrontation that should never have happened, yet it did, and nothing has been the same since. Her hands shake as she holds back tears, her eyes scanning the courtroom for acknowledgement, for understanding, for justice. The prosecution leans forward, sensing the moment. "Can you describe what happened during that confrontation?" Janelle swallows hard. There was shouting. Accusations, painful truths were hurled like daggers. And in that moment, I realized the trust wasn't just broken. It was gone. Forever. The courtroom atmosphere shifts. It's no longer just about legal arguments. It's about the raw, unfiltered emotions of a family in turmoil. Meri's eyes glisten with tears. Robyn exhales slowly, trying to maintain control. Christine leans forward, anticipation clear in her posture. And Kody, he looks smaller somehow, cornered by truths he cannot deny. Retention booster? Can you feel the tension? Every revelation is another step closer to the ultimate confrontation, and nothing will ever be the same. The judge calls for a short recess, sensing the intensity whispers ripple through the room. Lawyers confer quietly, witnesses murmur among themselves, and the family sits in tense silence, each lost in their own thoughts. When the session resumes, the atmosphere grows darker. The next witness, a longtime family associate, takes the stand. He begins recounting private incidents that paint a stark picture of manipulation, secret alliances, and subtle betrayals. Every story he tells is carefully calculated to reveal the unseen cracks in the family's foundation. Kody tries to interject, but the judge raises a hand. "Let the witness continue," he commands. As the witness speaks, the wives exchange glances, their expressions a mixture of vindication, shock, and fear. Christine leans closer to her lawyer, whispering, her voice dripping with anticipation. Robyn's jaw tightens, holding back a visible reaction. Meri grips the edge of the bench, fighting to keep her composure. And then comes the revelation that changes everything. A hidden letter, once thought destroyed, surfaces. The contents are explosive, implicating multiple family members in decisions that had long been kept secret. Gaffes echo through the courtroom. Kody's face pales. Janelle's tears fall freely. Robyn closes her eyes briefly, bracing herself, while Christine allows a triumphant smile to flicker across her lips. The session ends with a dramatic cliffhanger. The judge holds the letter high, his eyes scanning the courtroom. "This changes everything," he says gravely. The camera pans across the room, faces etched with shock, anger, and disbelief. Everyone senses that the next session will reveal the deepest, most shocking truths yet, secrets that could irreparably fracture the family. The courtroom is silent as the doors swing open. Kody walks in, shoulders stiff, eyes scanning the room with a mix of apprehension and determination. Each wife enters behind him, carrying her own storm of emotion, anger, hurt, defiance, and fear. The weight of past secrets hangs heavily in the air, almost tangible, as if the very walls themselves are listening. The judge calls the session to order, his gavel cutting through the tension. "We will proceed," he says, voice measured but firm. Next witness, please. Christine rises first. She walks to the stand with purposeful steps, her expression a careful balance of determination and controlled emotion. I've held my tongue for too long, she begins. And now, I refuse to remain silent while lies shape the truth. Her voice is sharp, unwavering, cutting through the hushed murmurs of the courtroom. She recounts the subtle betrayals and quiet manipulations that have shaped the family dynamic over the years. Decisions made behind closed doors, financial choices kept secret, and promises broken when trust was assumed. Her words carry the weight of resentment long held in silence. Kody shifts uncomfortably, his face pale under the courtroom lights. Robyn sits stiffly, tension radiating from her body as she listens, her carefully maintained composure starting to crack. Janelle's eyes glisten with unshed tears, while Meri grips the edge of the bench, knuckles white, her breathing shallow. Christine's testimony grows more pointed, detailing moments when trust was betrayed, and alliances shifted subtly but decisively. We weren't just hurt, she says, voice trembling slightly with emotion. We were silenced, controlled, and manipulated. And tonight, it ends. The prosecutor presses further. And how did these events affect the family's unity? Christine's eyes flash with anger. They destroyed it. Every choice made behind closed doors, every lie, every betrayal. It's a fracture that cannot be repaired. And yet, some continue to pretend all is fine. The tension in the courtroom is nearly unbearable. Kody rises, attempting to defend himself, but his voice wavers, betraying the calm exterior he has tried to maintain. I never meant to hurt anyone, he says, his eyes darting toward each wife, pleading for understanding. Retention booster. Can you feel the pressure building? Every revelation, every accusation pushes the family closer to a breaking point. Suddenly, the courtroom doors swing open, and a previously unseen figure enters. A close friend who has observed the family's dynamics in private for years. His testimony is explosive, confirming suspicions and revealing previously hidden betrayals. He recounts conversations, secret agreements, and moments of manipulation that no one expected to surface. Gasps fill the courtroom. Janelle buries her face in her hands, tears spilling over. Meri's breathing quickens, heart pounding in her chest. Robyn's eyes narrow, the calm facade cracking under the emotional weight. And Christine? She leans back slightly, a satisfied glint in her eyes as she watches the turmoil unfold. The defense attorney attempts to counter, questioning the credibility of the witness, but the damage is done. The courtroom energy shifts, a palpable mix of shock, anger, and disbelief. Kody's composure begins to crumble, his hands trembling slightly as he sits down, unable to meet anyone's gaze. Then comes the bombshell. An envelope slid across the bench, marked with a name that shakes the room. The judge opens it slowly, revealing documents that expose financial misdeeds, secret agreements, and betrayals no one anticipated. The room erupts in whispers, eyes widening in disbelief. The session closes with a dramatic cliffhanger. The judge looks up, voice steady but heavy with gravity. The information contained in these documents changes the entire context of this case. Tomorrow, we will address the most shocking revelations yet. As the family files out, the tension lingers like a storm cloud. Kody walks ahead. Shoulders slumped, lost in thought, Robyn follows, silently grappling with the new truths. Christine smirks faintly. Eyes glinting with anticipation, Janelle wipes away tears, trying to gather herself, while Meri exhales shakily, bracing for what comes next. The audience is left with one question. What secret, hidden until now, could possibly eclipse everything revealed so far?